Good morning, it's 7:30. I'm in the car and I'm on the way to pick up my dad because we're going to have a bit of a dad and daughter day today. This week has not been the happiest week for my family because we actually lost our family cat, Willow. I know some of you will know Willow and will have seen Willow in the vlogs over the years. We have had Willow for 14 years. She actually died on her 14th birthday, which is obviously very, very sad. Or I think it was kind of her made up 14th birthday because we got Willow from a farm when she was only a few weeks old, or a couple of months old. She was very little anyway. I can still remember it because Dad brought her home. I don't actually know what Dad had been to the farm for. Farm cats are sort of halfway between. They live a life that's kind of the freedom of a stray cat, I guess, but they obviously get fed by the farmer. In my experience anyway, that's what most farm cats were like growing up. So this cat had obviously gone off and had got pregnant and had kittens. The farmer said, "Do you want a kitten?" Because obviously he was trying to find homes for these kittens. And just spontaneously, Dad said yes and brought home Willow, and she was tiny and she was so fierce when she came home. She wouldn't let any of us anywhere near her, understandably so. She didn't know any of us. Willow's a funny cat because she only ever had dogs for company, so we always used to say she's more like a dog than a cat. She behaved like the dogs. Whenever the dogs would get treats, she would come and sit between them and she would get a treat. She had a really amazing life because she lived in lots of different houses, which is quite unusual for a cat, and she always adapted to that just flawlessly. It never seemed to bother her. She just very quickly learnt that each new home was her home, and obviously she spent her entire life in the countryside, so I guess that's the only sort of comfort that we can take from it. But anyway, all of that being said, I think probably any of you that have ever lost a pet, I think probably the hardest, or one of the hardest bits of it, is just noticing your pet not being there in the daily routine. And obviously Willow lives with my parents, so I thought it would be nice just to, the original plan was I was going to take both of my parents to the coast for the weekend, just to stay somewhere different. All of us love the coast, take the two dogs, and just have a bit of a change of scenery and just do something nice as a family, I guess, to try and turn around a not great week. But then my sister, I don't know if I've ever said, but my sister lives in London now, but she had to come home in the end for a meeting, so she had to stay here. So what we decided was Mum's going to stay here with Sophie and Poppy, and me, Rue's in the car next to me, and Dad are going just for a day trip down to the coast. We're actually going to somewhere that I always used to go to as a child. We did a lot when I was growing up. We really all of our holidays were in the UK or France. We did a lot of driving to France. I think when my mum had my sister and I, sort of when we were very young, I think she found the whole idea of just planes and airports and being really, really far from home and not knowing the country she was in and sort of things like that. I think she found that quite stressful. So as a result, our holidays were all in the UK or in the south of France. We did drive through France a lot, and we did a lot of camping. We had a caravan at one point, which was so much fun. I've got really, really fond memories of the coast in the UK. And as I've obviously said before, I was always like just such an outdoorsy girl, and my dad is the outdoorsy one. So Dad and I, when I was little, we'd be on all the rocks looking for little creatures and things in the rock pools. We'd be just always doing something, and I've got really fond memories. But anyway, I'm really looking forward to today. We're going to Lyme Regis, which is somewhere, it's not too far, it's about a 2-hour, 15-minute drive. So we thought it's just about doable for a day trip, and we'll have a long day there because obviously we're setting off quite early. And yeah, we're just gonna go and have a bit of a change of scenery and have some Dad and Hannah time. We've just pulled up to wait for Dad. We're meeting Dad here. You excited for the beach? Look at how funny this is. Are we going to see Granddad? You love your Granddad. She knows Granddad, Grandma. She knows so many words. She knows car. You're my clever girl. You don't know beach though. She doesn't know beach though because we don't go enough. Oh, is that so exciting? Now she's doing her little excited noises. You have to wait. He's nearly here. But yeah, and then tomorrow I am going to, oh, my dad's just got here, so I will see you when we get down to Lyme Regis. But tomorrow I'm going to spend the day with my mum, which will also be really nice, more so at home, just going to some of our favourite places around here. But yeah, dad's just got here, so I will see you in Lyme Regis. you're just balanced on a rock on the beach. But we just stopped for kind of some lunch. It was 11 o'clock, so a little bit early for lunch, but obviously we had breakfast this morning at 6, so I was getting hungry. We went to a bakery. It was not one that we usually go to. We went to a new one today. It was really good though. Dad had coffee and a cake, and I had coffee and it was like a root vegetable pasty. It was really good. It was vegan. It was really, really good. And then we just came down onto the beach to let Rue play and go in the sea. She's so brave in the water now. She used to be really scared of water. And at home, I constantly put her in the streams on the sunny days. There's a golden retriever on the beach with the family, and the golden retriever's going all the way into the sea, chasing the ball, fully swimming. And I can just see Rue standing on the beach, like so curious as to how this dog is swimming. And she almost wants to, I can see her. It's really tempting to her, but she doesn't quite do it. But anyway, that's what we've been doing. We are just going to let Rue have a bit more of a run round on the beach, and then I think our car park has run out, so we need to go and put money on it. So I think what we're going to do is go back up to the car and then drive just a little way along the coast to a place called Beer, which is somewhere that, again, we went to a lot when I was growing up. It's a really small, kind of like sleepy little town. And we're just going to go there. We are going to have a walk around. Dad wants a beer because it's a sunny day by the coast. So we're going to do that. And then we've got dinner booked back here later, so then we'll drive back. And I'll show you a bit more of it later when we're back. But that's the plan. Rue looks like you look like a little beach dog, don't you? She's so scruffy. Look, let me show everyone. Oh, you're all wet. Look at her belly. It's a lovely drawing on the cover of that book. We've just quickly stopped on the way to Beer because Dad wanted to show me this pub that apparently when we used to come camping here, we would always come to this pub and sit in the garden at the back. It's actually very pretty here. There's a church on this side. There have definitely been some very interesting camera angles today. You're currently underneath a boat, balancing on my handbag, and it's also very windy, so hopefully you can hear me. I tried to kind of shelter you from the wind. But we're on the beach in Beer. I'd forgotten how pretty it is here. It's a much sort of quieter, smaller town. There's much less going on and I guess much less to do. But for that reason, it is that little bit quieter. And there's really gorgeous kind of cottages on the main street, sort of running down to the beach. It is also a pebbly beach, so I guess it depends whether that's your thing, but I really like it here. Anyway, we're just sat having 5 minutes on the beach. Dad's having a bit of a nap and Rue is also having a nap. She's had a very busy day. She's right here next to me. Let me show you. You having a good day? You're so gorgeous. Actually, my legs probably aren't shaved, so maybe I shouldn't do a close-up like that. I was saying to Dad that this makes me want to get a place on the coast because this is somebody's front garden and I could not imagine a nicer place to have your morning coffee or when it's sunset to have, you know, a glass of wine, have friends over, and all you can see is the endless horizon. It's so, so pretty. We're making a pit stop on the way at the River Cottage HQ, which is Hugh Fanny Whittingstall's house, his main residence, but he also runs like a cooking school, and there's a really small cafe kind of shop there as well, because Hugh Fanny Whittingstall was one of the people, and River Cottage the programme was called River Cottage, right? Was one of the programmes. It was River Cottage, Rick Stein, and then Dad and I were just saying Sarah Beanie, with obviously houses and property. There were definitely other cooking programmes and other house programmes that were always on as well, but I would say they're kind of the big three. And I somehow, in all the years that we have come here, I don't think when I was little, maybe he didn't let people on the property, but now he definitely does. So I thought I need to go and see that, because it was such a big part. It was always on in the house and such a big part of my childhood. But we did just discover that Hugh Fanny Whittingstall is now 60, which in my mind he'll be eternally, however old he was 20 years ago, well 40 I guess. I can only picture him like that. I don't think I've seen any recent pictures of him. I think his TV shows and things that he does now are quite different. We really liked them, you know, 20 years ago, because they were all about rural life and him rearing his own animals and just farm life, I think. Growing your own vegetables and kind of cooking and making recipes from what you have on your own land. And I think that's kind of the side of it that we really liked, because Mum and Dad have always had a vegetable garden. I definitely want one. I can't wait to have chickens. Hopefully not too long, but we'll see. But anyway, we thought it was worth the pit stop, so we're going to do that now. Well, I'm hoping I need this chicken and egg one soon. So this is River Cottage itself, where he filmed all of the TV shows that obviously, and I think he still lives there, that obviously I grew up watching. It's really in the middle of nowhere, isn't it? It is very, very beautiful here. Dad said that this is technically the second River Cottage, because apparently when he began, he was just renting the cottage he was in, and then obviously when he became successful, he bought this. And I don't blame him, because I would quite like to live somewhere exactly like this. These are Mum's favourite flowers, and Dad just said this is the first place she ever saw them, on this wall walking down into Lyme Regis. Yeah, Adkins, A-D-K-I-N-S. Just come for dinner at a restaurant called Rockfish. We were originally going to come to the same restaurant actually. It used to be Hicks, which is Mark Hicks's restaurant. And Dad has been a couple of times, Mum and Dad I think together have been a couple of times and said it was really good. So we were going to make a beeline and come here for dinner, but it turns out that's closed down, I think about a year ago, and then Rockfish took over, so that's where we've come for dinner. We actually have a really lovely sea view from where we're sat, which I will show you. And we're going to have a glass of wine and just going to have dinner here, and then it will be time to head back home.
We also have Devon lobster today. These ones are oven roasted and served with garlic butter. And these ones are whole on the bone. And these ones are planchard and 2 large prawns.
On the menu here they do unlimited chips, which would be basically Kenny's dream. And then the placemat for the tables also doubles as kind of a fish of the day menu, and they come around and just write on it, which I quite like. It's a couple of days later. I'm a little bit of a shiny Sally today. Do you know what it is? It is the Rhode Barrier Butter Balm, which I absolutely love. It's not a balm actually, it's just Barrier Butter Universal Hydration Layer, which I love, but it's so thick, which again, love, but it does make you very shiny. If you don't put, I don't really wear foundation, so like on my, well, pretty much my whole face, it is just this, so it does make you a bit shiny if I don't put powder on. Do you know what actually, it's a couple of days later, I don't know if I've said this, it's a couple of days later, and I have just been editing this vlog back, and I did actually go for that really lovely day out with my mum yesterday, but I kind of thought, because we did all of that around here, around home, so I actually ended up thinking I would just leave this vlog as more of like a kind of seaside vlog, and then next week, just in the weekly vlog, I will include the day that I had with my mum. Was that yesterday or was that the day before? Anyway, my point being, I've just been editing this vlog today. I don't know if I've ever looked worse. Like, I genuinely don't know. It's one of those things where, first of all, at the end of this coming week, a week yesterday actually, I've got one of my absolute best friends, like lifelong friends hens. She's got a hen weekend in Cannes. And you know when you've got something coming up where you're sort of saving all of your, like I haven't had my nails done for weeks. Honestly, they look, pedicure as well. I don't know if you saw my feet on the beach, but like, let's not rewind and go and have a look because they look awful. I am waiting for next week to do like a mani-pedi, my fake tan. There's one shot. I actually think that's a really unfair. I feel like the lighting really did me dirty in that last shot of me at the restaurant because I look unwell. I'm so pale, but I don't think like this is my actual, the colour that I am. So I feel like it was the lighting, or I'll tell myself that anyway. Next week's vlog, nothing will have changed actually. So let's all just excuse me for the next 2 weeks. And then I should have my, just everything together a bit more. But also time of the month, like I'm about to come onto my period. My skin is always not the best before my period as well. And because I was with my dad, didn't do my hair, didn't really do my makeup. And then I watched it back and thought, well, won't make that mistake again. Although I'm doing exactly the same now. I thought may as well be consistent. I don't even know how I got onto that. Yeah. But actually, while we are on that subject, question. Recently, my hair, so normally my like hair routine is I will wash my hair one day, the next day it's completely clean. The day after that, I can normally sort of just about get away with it. The day after that is a dry shampoo or hair wash day. And then the day after that, I have to wash it. So I normally wash my hair every 3 or 4 days. 4 is always, you know, if I'm just not doing anything. If I was doing something nice, I'd wash it every 3 days. Recently, and I don't know if this is a summer thing, I don't know if this is, I feel like your hair gets used to the shampoo that you're using. Is that a myth? Is that something I've made up? But recently, I will wash my hair in the evening, wake up the next day, and by the following evening, it's like 24 hours later, like now, for example, I feel like my hair doesn't look clean anymore. I feel like I need an overall, just a real long, hard look at myself and a bit of a glow up. But I just was curious whether that is happening to anyone else and whether it is something to do with the weather or whether, I don't know, I just don't, is it my shampoo? What do I need to do? I just feel like it's a build-up of oils maybe that are not being properly washed out of my hair. Don't know, not sure. But anyway, that's a complete side note. So, yeah, like I said, I did this gorgeous day out with my mum, but it was all just very like Cotswoldy things. Went to a National Trust. It was a really, really nice day, really hot day. Did some things actually in the Cotswolds that I have never done before. But like I said, I just thought it was a bit all over the place to just throw that in sort of at the end of this vlog, so that can go into next week's vlog. And okay, question, and this is no, I'm not making any promises here. I actually haven't even spoken, maybe the bride, I don't see why she would care, but maybe she wouldn't want me to. I don't think she'd care. But all things being well, and I'm not making any promises, but just out of pure curiosity, is the hen do, for example, in Cannes, like something you would find even remotely interesting? I know it's so completely different to anything that we normally do, but also last week I did get a couple of comments from a couple of people basically saying, in a really polite way, it was put in a really lovely way, but kind of just like, you always do the same things in your vlogs, which totally get it. Like that is such a valid and fair kind of assessment of things. But what I said actually in reply, and really the only thing I can say because it's the truth, is that I really like having like a simple, slow countryside life. So it's kind of just the way that my life is set up. It's a slow pace of life. It's all very like being outside, walking the dog, doing things around my house, reading, cooking, going food shopping, seeing my mum. That is genuinely my reality, at least 5 days out of 7. And then of course I do from time to time like go to really lovely events and do things like see my friends, but I never know, like, do we want to see that? I don't know. I go to Pilates kind of 3-4 times a week, and I never take you with me to that because sometimes I feel like it's such a personal thing, kind of what's interesting to one person versus another. Because me, for example, when I watch YouTube, and I always watch YouTube, like that's predominantly, I would say I watch more YouTube, definitely more YouTube than TV, which is why I even started a YouTube channel in the first place, just because I love YouTube. But anyway, when I watch YouTube, I absolutely love home vlogs. Like they're week after week after week, I will just watch people at home, cooking, doing what they're doing, chatting to the camera. I know I don't really chat a lot compared to most people. I would say most of the vlogs that I watch is like 90% just chatting, and then 20% little bits and pieces of what they're doing. And I know mine are more, they're at least 50-50 kind of showing what I'm doing and talking. But anyway, the point being, I really love just watching people go about just things that they do every day. So I don't mind that. And when the people that I watch on YouTube do things like go to events or go to the gym, they are the bits that, I mean, I'm happy to watch it, I'll sit there and happily watch it, but they're not the bits that I love. I guess maybe that's just me. So anyway, as always, I'm always asking, I love hearing from you what your thoughts are. I feel like I ask a lot what your thoughts are, which is in some ways strange because, as I've just said, I live a very simple life, so really there's only so much to give. But I definitely can. Like there are things that I choose not to show, like I never go take you to Pilates with me. I don't take you along to events with me that much, maybe bits here and there if I think they'll be like really fun or really interesting. And especially we don't do much with my friends. Or my sister. I would actually love to do more with my sister, but anyway, that's just a whole nother topic, but just let me know. I hope this week was a bit different. It was actually just purely coincidence that we ended up doing something that we don't usually do this week. So I thought I'd take you along for that, for a change. I hope that was a bit of a change of scenery. And like I said, next week, big old weekly vlog, kind of the usual. I'm really trying to vlog more over my weeks at the moment. Than I said that, but I actually don't know if I've done that even once yet. But mentally, I'm really trying to vlog more over a week than just over a day, just to, again, make sure that I'm able to show you a little bit more variety, I guess, if that's what we want. And thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you more than you will ever know. I feel so, so lucky that I get to share my life, as simple as it might be. Just to be able to share things is really, really special. All of the good bits and even the bits that aren't so good. It's just, yeah, it's a really special thing. So yeah, thank you for being here. Thank you for always being here. And I can't wait to catch up next week. Bye guys.